Hi everybody, it's Deborah from PeopleLovingAnimals.com. Thanks so much for tuning in and watching today's video. Today's video is called What to Say When Someone Loses a Pet. This can be kind of tricky because you want to say something to the person, you want to express sympathy, you want to acknowledge their loss, but you don't want to say something that's going to sound cliche, and you certainly don't want to say something that might trigger even more pain for them, right? So in today's video, we're going to talk about several things that you can say when someone loses their pet. We're going to talk about what not to say, and then I'm also going to give you several ideas on things that you can do that will actually help the person, including sharing with you the best pet loss gesture that I personally have ever received. So I hope this video is helpful for you. If it is, please go ahead and give it a like. It really does help YouTubers when you do that. Now, if you have not been here before, my name is Deborah. I own this website, PeopleLovingAnimals.com. We're going to use this article called What to Say When Someone Loses a Pet to guide us through today's video. I'm going to give you a link to this article in the description box, and I'm also going to give you a link to some of the things that we're talking about in today's video. If you are not already subscribed, please go ahead and subscribe. I would appreciate it so much. It helps the channel to grow. Now, first, I want to say that it's very compassionate of you to actually get on the internet and research what should I say, when somebody's pet has died. It just shows that you really care about people and you want to do the right thing. And, if you have ever experienced pet loss yourself, you know how painful it can be, right? Now, nothing can take away the person's sadness, when they lose a pet, but there are things that you can say and do that will be helpful for them, okay? Now, what to say when a pet dies? Many people experiencing grief over the loss of a pet need to tell their story. It's an important part of the grieving process, and it helps them to heal. One of the best things that you can do is listen. And if you sense that they want to keep talking about their pet, you might even talk about some of your own positive experiences with their pet. Just be brief so that you're not triggering, any more pain for them. But it can be helpful to just be there, right? Just be there for the person and listen. The most important thing, in my opinion, when somebody's pet dies is focus on acknowledging their loss, saying something specific about their pet if you can, if you ever met their pet or you heard them talk about their pet, and offer help and listen and be there. A few things that you could say to offer comfort are, you're in my thoughts and prayers. I'm here for you as you navigate this difficult time. Our pets hold such a special place in our hearts and lives. And again, I'm here anytime you want to talk. You could also say something specific about the pet, like Duke was such a great dog or Blackie was such a beautiful cat. And if you loved their pet and you're grieving as well, don't be afraid to express that. It can be helpful for people to know that they're not alone in their grief. But again, just be careful to do that briefly because you don't want to trigger any more pain for them, okay? Now, what not to say? Don't say that you know how they feel, that you have been through the exact same thing. When a person is in the throes of fresh grief, they cannot imagine that anybody could possibly know how they feel. Do you know what I mean? It's not that you can't possibly know how they feel, but when you're in the throes of that fresh grief, it feels like nobody could possibly know. You don't want to say things like, at least your pet had a long life, or he's in a better place, because you know what? These things just don't help to relieve their pain, right? Don't say things like, well, at least you have other pets, or you can always get another pet, all right? Having remaining pets doesn't make up for the loss of the pet that they lost. And also, getting a new pet, not only can it not replace the pet that they've just lost, but most people, again, if they're in the throes of that fresh grief, they really cannot imagine ever getting another pet, okay? So Those just aren't very smart things to say. And don't say anything that suggests that they should get over it or that they should get over it within a certain amount of time. Don't say things like you'll feel better soon, okay? Because again, especially when the loss is fresh, they really feel like they will never, ever, ever feel better. Okay, and again, if you've ever been through this yourself, this is probably resonating with you and you know what I'm talking about, right? Now, comforting words for the loss of a pet. It's best to express sympathy by calling the person or speaking to them in person. But if you can't, or you feel awkward, or the person just, doesn't live in the vicinity of you, here's a couple of like sample things that you could either email to them, you could write in a card, or you could text them or put on social media. Just as a couple of examples, you might say something like, "Dear Sherry, I was so sad to hear about the loss of Fluffy," whatever their pet's name was. "She was such a sweet and beautiful cat, and I know she meant so much to you. I loved how excited she got whenever I would come to visit. Please don't hesitate to call me if you need to talk. I'm here for you." Okay, again, we're sticking with those things. Acknowledge the loss. Say something specific about their pet. Offer to be there, okay? Another example might be, "Dear Sarah, I just found out about the loss of Zach. He was such a happy dog, and I know that you'll miss him terribly. I know he'll always have a special place in your heart. Please let me know if there's anything that I can do to help." Again, you acknowledge she's lost the dog. You say something specific about the dog. And, you just want to say, he had a special place in your heart. I know that you loved him so much. Acknowledge in some small way what this animal meant to them. And again, always offer to be there. If you need me, call me. If you need to talk, I'm here. That's the best thing that you can do for somebody going through grief of any kind, right? Whether it's a pet or a family member or anybody. Now, I want to make some suggestions to you on other things that you can do to help people if you have a friend or a coworker or a family member who has lost a pet. Some of the things are, first of all, you can make a donation to an animal charity in their pet's name. Now, the ASPCA has a nice program for this. Now, I did this when my little dachshund Taz passed away. This is her in the picture. I lost her in 2016, and I found out about this, and so I actually went on this website. I'm going to give you the link for it, and I made a donation, and I put her, name in it, and you can arrange for the person to get either a card in the mail or an email from the ASPCA that says a donation has been made in Fluffy's name. Do you know what I mean? You can either have your name on it or not. You can have the card sent to them or not. Now, what I did, because I was doing this myself, I just wanted to donate in Taz's name. I got a nice card in the mail. I mean, I still have it. I kept it. It's just nice, right? So that's something you might want to do for the person. You might consider pet sympathy gifts. There are a selection of them on Amazon. I'm going to give you a link to go ahead and look at some of those. You're going to find some good ideas there, just like really nice things. You might consider something like an engraved necklace. I have a website called personalizeddognecklaces.com, and you can get a necklace that's actually in the shape of the dog breed with the dog's name on it. That's just an example of kind of a personalized gift that you could get the person, in memory of their pet. A pet loss book can be helpful. Again, I'm going to give you a link to find those on Amazon, and you're going to be surprised how many there are. Some of them are kind of spiritual. They talk about, do pets go to heaven? Other ones are more therapeutic, just, therapy to get through grief. And then they also have them for children dealing with pet loss. So, a book might be a nice gift that you could get someone. You can provide a memorial gift. I'm going to give you a link to Pet Memorials. They actually have a lot of nice things. Now, they have things like urns. Like I don't think you'd want to be so bold as to, buy an urn for somebody's pet they're having cremated. But there are some really nice things. There's necklaces, there's plants, there's all kinds of things. Take a look through and see if there's something that you think might be appropriate. Another thing that you might want to do, and this has been helpful for me in the past, is suggest some resources for the person. Now, you do want to be careful with this. Use your own judgment on this one based on your relationship with the person and whether or not you think you would be overstepping by like referring them on where to get help. But if you think that they would be comfortable with it, you can give them resources like a link to this website, Center for Pet Loss Grief. I am personally blown away by this website. And by the way, I'm not affiliated with them at all, but this is a super nice website. They have books, they have resources, they have printouts, they have poems, they have so many things. And I don't know, I just think if you said, hey, there's this pet loss website, give them the link, right? They may find things on there that really help them. You might also have them watch my video. It's called Grieving Over the Loss of Your Pet, Coping Tips and Comfort. That video, I'll give you the link to it. It has had several thousand views on YouTube, and I've had several hundred comments on that video, so much so that our comment section has become kind of like a pet loss support group. So people have expressed to me several times, hundreds of times actually, in the comment section of how helpful that was for them. And it's just me kind of talking with people, your pet has died, this, kind of helping them through it. So again, be careful with this. It depends on what your relationship is with the person. But if you feel comfortable doing that, go ahead and share the link with them and say, here's a video that might help you, right? Now, I want to share with you the best pet loss gesture that I have ever received. Several years ago, I lost my cat of 20 years. This is her. Now, you can imagine, 20 years I had this cat, right? Now, when she died, the vet's office sent me a sympathy card, and I was blown away for 3 reasons. One, I had never received a sympathy card before for the loss of a pet. Number 2, every person in the vet's office signed it. And number 3, it included a poem called The Rainbow Bridge. Now, if you've never heard of this, it's a poem that has helped me more than anything else when it comes to losing a pet. I'm going to give you a link in the description box where you can give me your email. I'll send this to you in a printable format. Now, that was a lot of years ago that I lost that cat, and they sent me this poem, and I saved the poem and I print it now. Anytime anybody that I know loses a pet, I get them a sympathy card and I print and enclose this poem in it. And every time I have done that, the person has expressed, wow, thank you so much. That helped me so much. And even if they turn out to be not a poem kind of person, even if they weren't particularly moved by it, they're going to be moved by the gesture. Now, I'm going to give you a link. You can get some pet sympathy cards on Amazon. You can obviously go to the drugstore and get a pet sympathy card. But I want to give you just one more example of this. First of all, if you don't know what else to do, I'll give you an example. A few years before I lost this cat, I lost her brother, Myron, who was a tomcat. And the cat died over a slow period of time. So people knew, I was losing my cat, and the cat passed away. And my boss, who at the time, the guy was very businesslike. Do you know what I mean? Like, we weren't really friends. He was my boss. He got me a card and he left it on my desk. And it was just a simple card, just a simple pet sympathy card. And he just wrote one line, "Dear Deborah, I'm sorry for the loss of your pet, Don." That was it. Do you know what I mean? Just the fact that the man went to the store, bought me the card, signed it, and put it on my desk. He didn't have to say any big, oh, pets mean the world. He didn't have to say anything. I'm sorry for the loss of your pet. And for people to get that in the mail when their pet has died or put it on their desk at work, it's like, I'm sorry for the loss of your pet. If that's all you can do and you're too nervous to kind of say anything else, I don't think anybody would be offended or upset by receiving a sympathy card when their pet passes away. And that one, like I say, it just really blew me away. Everybody had signed it, and that Rainbow Bridge poem was really the thing that really just helped me. So again, I'm going to give you the link. Go ahead, give me your email address. I'll send it to you right away. All right? And you can print it. It'll be a printable version. Now, I do hope that this has helped. Like we say, you know, expressing sympathy for someone whose pet has died can be pretty tricky. You want to help, but you don't want to sound cliche. You don't want to trigger something that's going to hurt them even more. So again, focus on acknowledging that they've lost their pet. Say something specific about their pet if you knew the pet or if you knew of their relationship, like, oh, I know you walked with Jack every day, or, you know, try to say something specific about the pet. And then offer to listen, and just being there for the person is really the best thing that you can do. And you just kind of use your judgment. You don't want to, you know, talk with the person and you're bringing up all these memories about the pet and you're like making them more upset. Play it by ear. Let them take the lead. And if they want to keep talking, let them keep talking, right? It's really the best thing you can do to help somebody, again, through grief of any sort. So I want to just share a couple of things before we go. I donate to animal charities. I do peoplelovinganimals.com as my job, and I donate 10% of all of the commissions that I earn on the website and also on this YouTube channel to animal charities. And if you go to the homepage of my website, peoplelovinganimals.com, you will see a list of the animal charities that I donate to. So again, I thank you so much for spending this few minutes with me. I give you a lot of credit. You're a very kind person for actually getting on YouTube and trying to find, you know, some help. What do I say to this person? So I hope that I've given you some help. If you have any questions, or if you want to offer anybody else any other suggestions in the comment section, I would appreciate that. Like I said, my other video about pet loss, it ended up to be kind of a pet loss support group in the comment section. You know, help each other, right? We can all help each other just by communicating, okay? So again, if I was helpful, please give it a like. If you're not already subscribed, please do so. And please go ahead and share this YouTube channel with your friends and family who have pets, because I do several videos a month all about the care and health and training of dogs and cats. So I would love to have you on board as a subscriber if you're not already. Again, thanks so much for sticking with me. I hope I've helped. My name is Deborah, and my website is peoplelovinganimals.com. Thanks.